Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I am going to review the Super Mario Bros. Movie from 1993, starring Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper. Two Brooklyn plumbers, Mario and Luigi, must travel to another dimension to rescue a princess from evil King Koopa and stop him from taking over the world. Now, by the time of this recording, I've already seen the new Super Mario Bros. Movie. Me and Dad saw it, which our spoiler review will be coming on the podcast later on in the month. I remember seeing this movie, I saw like the first 5 minutes and I got bored. So this time I'm like, okay, actually let me just sit through it. To be honest, this time I did not make it through all of it, but I made it through way more than I would have thought. I think I got a little over the hour mark. I was surprised by that. And it's funny because at the beginning of the movie, the two directors actually have a very interesting vision for Mario and Luigi in this movie. You actually really focus on the plumbers aspect of Mario and Luigi. Unlike the games, they say that they're plumbers, but they never really explore that. They just kind of go like, yeah, they're already in the magical land of the Mushroom Kingdom. So I like how this movie heavily focuses on the plumbers aspect, and then along the way they meet Daisy, and that's how the whole plot kicks in, because Luigi met this girl, and they're starting to hang out, and eventually she gets captured. I think that's a really good idea for a Mario movie. And to be honest, I don't mind them not doing the Mushroom Kingdom, because I think that if they did the Mushroom Kingdom in this movie, that would have been a little too hard for a live action movie, especially in the 90s. But like, even though that you could point out that they could do it like the Wizard of Oz, like they did the Wizard of Oz, so it's like, and they made that look great, but it's like one of those things where it's like there's more to the Mushroom Kingdom than just a castle. Like, especially when you look at the new design of the new Mario movie, that Mushroom Kingdom is filled with mushrooms and all that, and that's the Mushroom Kingdom. And also has like a town and has like all these different pipes that make them do stuff and that sort of stuff. So the fact that they made a dystopian kind of dinosaur town in Dino Haddon, I thought that was actually really cool. And the fact that and the other point that I'm going to bring up now is that you actually you can piece together what is an Easter egg and what isn't. So they kind of mention, so for example, you don't realize that it's a reference to the Mario games until you hear a name call or it looks similar, right? So like the Bob-omb at the end of the movie actually looks like a Bob-omb, but you don't realize that the dinosaur that King Koopa turns into at the end is meant to represent Bowser. Or you don't realize that the dude singing with a guitar is meant to be Toad until they say Toad. And you don't realize that the big black woman is meant to be Big Bertha, the fish. So they kind of did in a way that's like, there's all these references to the games, but they're kind of their own interpretation of them. And I thought that was very, very interesting. And the characters in this movie is kind of what I imagine them being like in live action. So like Mario played by Bob Hoskins, and like John Leguizamo playing Luigi, and of course Dennis Hopper playing King Koopa. And Dennis Hopper's having the best time of his life. He's adding so much into this role. And I think that, I'm not saying that this is a good movie, but it's one of those things where it's like, there's interesting things in it. And I think that this is better than what people say it is. And I think that as soon as you get into the Dino World, you're like, wait, is this even a Mario movie anymore? What the hell is this? There's stuff in Dino Haddon that actually represents the game a lot. It's also crazy that I like this movie and I don't know if I like it because it's so much not like the games, or I like it because it's taking what the games were and trying to make it live action while trying not to make it too crazy like the games were. If you had the Mushroom Kingdom and if you actually had a Dinosaur Bowser in live action, because that would have looked weird in the 90s especially. But it's one of those things too where it's like, it's interesting too because they didn't go for Peach in this movie, they went for Princess Daisy. That was less popular at the time. Princess Daisy, I could be wrong, I think she was part of Mario World at the time. And then they brought it back for Mario Kart and Mario Power Tennis and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where you're like, well, this is a very, very different character than what Peach was. But they do add that whole princess aspect of like her mother was a princess, and so the whole side plot is that they bring all these females in for the princess role, and they realize that Daisy is the one who actually had the mother that was the princess of Dino Haddon, and so she actually becomes the princess herself, which I thought was very interesting. I thought that was an interesting way to do a kind of Peach plot without trying to make it Peach, if you know what I mean. I thought it was an interesting twist on that, and it's one of those things where it's like, you don't expect that from a Mario movie like this, really. It's funny, because I am going to give the original Super Mario Bros. Movie 3 out of 5 stars. I was more entertained this time than I was the first time, but I didn't make it all the way through. And I think that is what makes me give it down to a 3, except for a 3.5. And it also doesn't help that I saw the new Mario movie, the animated one, before this one. If I watched it before the animated one, I probably would have been like, you know what, that's actually pretty good. It's not the best adaptation, but it's something. I still can't feel that way, but I would have given it a little more leeway and a more of a 3.5, 4 rating if I didn't see the Mario animated movie before this. So guys, I am going to record my review for the 2023 Super Mario Bros. Movie. So guys, please hit the like button down below if you haven't already. Subscribe, also the little bell icon to get notified of future videos that I make. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.